Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm back to break down this 5-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings. Before we get into it, if you do enjoy the content at any point in this video, guys, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. YouTube continues to tell me about 60% of my audience is not subscribed, so if that is you and you enjoy the content, if you feel like I bring you any value throughout this video, all that I ask is that you hit that subscribe button, and I do greatly appreciate it. And then I do offer some further content over here on Patreon if you are interested in some further stuff from me. I do offer premium NBA projections, NBA data sheets, player stats, team stats, play context stats, core plays, injury impact insights, and NBA Discord chat access at an affordable price. I've been playing daily fantasy sports since 2016. I've been a member of these other sites where they charge you $30, $40 a month. And I've gone ahead and I've put together a package at a much more affordable price with all the stuff they offer. You get the projections, you get the core plays, you get data sheets that include things like how good teams are offensively in transition, in the half court, putbacks, so you can be seeing, who's giving up the most offensive rebounds. All of those things included in my package. So check that out if interested. Link below in the description. And then don't forget to stay tuned to the end of the video for my lock of the night segment. Every single night, I'm going to be giving you guys my lock of the night, my favorite play of the night. Sometimes it's going to be an elite guy in the upper tier. Sometimes it's going to be mid-tier. Sometimes it'll be low-tier. Really just depending on the opportunity on that slate. Some injury news, Vegas news as far as how fastly paced the game's going to be. All of that stuff included in my lock of the night. So stay tuned to the end of the video for that. And with all that being said, let's go ahead and start breaking down this slate today. So first game on the slate, Utah taking on Atlanta at 7:30 lock tonight. Trae Young comes in at a 9.3 price tag. This game comes in with a 224 over-under with a 7.5 point spread in favor of the Utah Jazz. So a decently paced game. Right now, looking like the top total on the slate as far as lines released so far. We don't have all the totals released so far, so have to keep an eye on that one. But as far as my interest in this one, DeAndre Hunter continues to be out, which is going to give some more minutes and some more usage to guys like Kevin Huerter, Danilo Gallinari, and Cam Reddish. Danilo Gallinari's minutes continue to be somewhat underwhelming since returning from injury, however, so I'm not too sure that I'm trying to go there. I mean, he did play 21 minutes last time out compared to 18 and 19 the time before, if you want to say that's a bump up, which it is, of course, but not the greatest bump, and if I'm playing tournaments, that's not quite enough upside to get me there, so I'd rather be playing Cam Reddish and Kevin Huerter, who are getting the run. You're looking at mid-20s, 30 minutes for Cam Reddish game in a game out. Last time out, he only got 23. And it looks like he was just struggling shooting, and they ended up pulling him. I mean, I don't really know if there's any more rhyme or reason than that. He was 1 for 8 from the field, and they pulled him. Typically, he's going to get a lot more run than that. And then Kevin Huerter at 5'5", playing 39 and 38 minutes the last 2 times out. He makes a lot of sense as a play. Can absolutely shoot it from behind the arc. He's going to have more assist upside as well, more on-ball handling duties with no Kevin Huerter, with no DeAndre Hunter out there. Not that DeAndre Hunter's, a huge on-ball heavy-duty guy. It's just, that's the natural domino effect when you take a guy out of the rotation that was playing like 40 minutes a game. DeAndre Hunter is playing a lot of minutes, so 42, 36, and 45 his last 3 times being healthy throughout the game. So, but yeah, I'm looking to Cam Reddish and Kevin Huerter. I'm taking a hard look at those guys more than I would be. And then, of course, at the top, Trae Young and Clint Capella are going to see their usage increase naturally. So these guys are already great plays as is. And you take a guy off the floor that was playing 40 minutes a game, and you're going to like them even more. So Trae Young and Clint Capella make a lot of sense. It's just a matter of the pace and whether this is going to line up with the rest of the games on the slate, which I would say, this slate looks to be pretty even across the board as far as pace is concerned. We might have a few slight edges, but we're really looking at price ranges and plays, which brings me to my next few options here in Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, John Collins, and Mike Conley. Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert continue to be, good options in the sense that they play a lot of minutes, but they're kind of priced up appropriately. I would prefer Rudy Gobert at 7.5 because of his center role. They're going to need his defensive services taken on Clint Capella. And he's just more liable for, more apt to get those rebounds than a guard. So we're relying less on the shooting. If I'm paying 7.8 for Donovan Mitchell, I really need him to have all the on-ball handling duties. When a guy like Mike Conley at 6'6" is cutting into, how much he's dribbling up the floor as the point guard. It's cutting into his assist upside. So Donovan Mitchell's becoming more scoring dependent, and he's priced up more. I think I'd rather play a guy like Mike Conley down here at 6'6", so you get the price tag decrease. And similar usage, to be honest, so I'd rather go with him. Bojan Bogdanovic and Jordan Clarkson continue to be valid options. Bojan Bogdanovic getting it more involved recently. 5'4", 5'8", and 5'9" the last 3 times out, and he's put up 38, 39, and 29 DraftKings points. Now, keep in mind, this is the guy that can most likely either get you 10 DraftKings points or get you 40. That's just how he rolls. Very scoring dependent, but he can't shoot the 3 ball at a very effective rate, shooting 7 for 11, 5 for 10, and 4 for 8 the last 3 times out. That's a direct result as to how he's been able to get it going. So, definitely a valid play. Just know what you're getting yourself into. More of a tournament play than a cash play for sure. And then Jordan Clarkson off the bench as a 6-man makes a lot of sense as well. After putting up those huge games, 32, 44, he's come back down to earth, putting up 28, 23, and 13 DraftKings points, but has seen his price tag decrease all the way down to 5'6" from previously being listed at 6'4". So, I'm going to continue to have interest in him. Moving further along, Golden State taking on Dallas. Luka Doncic comes in at 10-9. This game comes in with a 4-point spread in favor of the Dallas Mavericks. There is no over-under release yet, so as far as pace is concerned, we'll have to keep an eye on that over-under when it drops. Luka Doncic at 10-9 continues to be an absolute fantasy point per minute beast. The only thing is he's having to split his usage with a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, who has been resting on back-to-backs, so there's a strong chance he could be out. However, with that being said, the coaching staff was just discussing how he was getting very close to playing back-to-backs, so we'll have to keep an eye out for that one. But I will say Kristaps Porzingis was the guy I had a lot of interest in last night, and tonight I'm probably not going to be playing him too much because I worry that they're going to be, even if he plays on the back-to-back, they're going to be limiting his minutes somewhat. They're going to be cautious with him. They're not trying to rush back a guy that's, somewhat of a franchise player with them. It's Kristaps and Luka Doncic, and they're their big 2 investments. So, I'd be fading Kristaps Porzingis not because of his ability or his usage rate or anything like that, but because I think his minutes are going to be limited. So I wouldn't be playing him. It's really just Luka. And then as far as anyone else on the Dallas side, they're all tournament plays. You could play Tim Hardaway Jr. He has the ability to get hot from behind the arc and get you a big score, putting up 33, 30, and 29 the last 3 times out. That's decent, but at 5'7", you're really hoping for more towards 35. And then Josh Richardson, Willie Cauley-Stein, Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, all these guys kind of blend together. Josh Richardson would be my favorite of the bunch for sure because we're starting to see him play starter minutes, 35, 37, 36 minutes the last 3 times out. He's put up 40 and 32 DraftKings points the last 2 times out. So, he continues to be underpriced for his role. He's coming back off injury. He's starting to see full run. I have a lot of interest in him. And that's where my interest kind of cuts off. These guys down here, they're playing a lot of minutes, but the fantasy point per minute production is a little... you could play Dorian Finney-Smith. He's getting the minutes. You could play a Maxi Kleber. He's getting the minutes. It's just tough giving them a full-on endorsement. Maxi Kleber can really shoot the 3 ball for a 4-man, so at 3'6", he's a very intriguing option. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see how he grades out my final projection run, because that definitely is interesting at his price tag. That's pretty low. He could easily get you 30 DraftKings points on any given night. So, interesting option there. On the Golden State side, it's really Steph Curry and then the 2 wings. So, Steph Curry put up 73 DraftKings points last time. I think we continue to see him shoot it in this one. So, he makes a lot of sense. He's the number 1 guy in Golden State, and he's in a rare situation where he's the lone star on the team. There's so many duos and big threes and stuff in the NBA now. You feel confident playing Steph Curry every night. He's going to get the shot volume. And then you could be playing Andrew Wiggins, Kelly Oubre, and Draymond Green. But these guys continue to be kind of somewhat limited in their minutes, playing like mid-20 minutes in the rotation, and then getting their minutes cut into with guys off the bench. So, we did see Eric Pascal not really play much last time. Draymond Green got a big bump in minutes, playing 36 minutes. So maybe Draymond's the way to go. Because after James Wiseman went down with the injury, we were thinking maybe some more Eric Pascal minutes, and that really didn't happen. They just pretty much ramped up Draymond Green's responsibilities. So I think Draymond Green definitely is an interesting option. And there's no more Kevon Looney. Kevon Looney went down with an injury. So, we're not dealing with much to threat Draymond's minutes right now. I think Draymond Green's actually a really good play tonight. Even though he can't really shoot the 3 ball in DraftKings, he's only 5'2". He's going to have a lot of responsibility, and I think they're going to be forced to play him lots of minutes. So, Portland taking on Philadelphia. Damian Lillard is listed as questionable in this one. So if he can't go, that means Anthony Simmons is going to be an absolute lock. At 4.6, this guy, a very good fantasy point per minute producer. When he gets his chance, last time getting around 30 minutes, we put up 31.75 DraftKings points. And if he's going to get the start, we're going to have a lot of interest in him. If Dame's in, we're going to continue to love him. There's no CJ McCollum, so Damian Lillard has a lot of usage, a lot of opportunity in this offense. It is a 9-point spread in favor of the Philadelphia 76ers, so I tend to think Damian Lillard might be out. I don't know. It's tough saying. This is the first time he's been listed as questionable, and Damian Lillard's not really a guy that's just listed as questionable when something's not really up. It's not like a LeBron James and Anthony Davis situation here, so got to keep an eye on that one. It becomes Enes Kanter, Gary Trent, Robert Covington, Carmelo Anthony, Anthony Simmons. All of these guys are going to be getting big bumps. Rodney Hood. Even a guy like Harry Giles may see a few more minutes, even though he's not directly correlated with the guard position, just because there continues to be no Yusuf Nurkic, and if Damian Lillard's out, there's more minutes to go around. Now, of course, he's not going to be my first option, just throwing it out there. Maybe he could be a sneaky play that could pay off, but that's very risky, so just know what you're getting yourself into there. Derek Jones Jr. is listed as questionable as well, so if Derek Jones Jr. is in, I'm going to like him. If he's out, we're looking to Anthony Simmons. We're looking to Rodney Hood. We're looking to Robert Covington, Carmelo Anthony. Gary Trent Jr. is a great play if Damian Lillard's out. And that's a situation we're faced with right now. So, waiting on injury news. And, yeah. On the Philadelphia side, it's Joel Embiid. Ben Simmons at 8.3, I'm going to continue to fade. I'm not really all too interested in him on DraftKings. I mean, he can get you the triple-double and get you there that way, but he can't really shoot the ball all too well. And if I'm paying 8.3 for a guy, I want him to be able to shoot the 3-ball on DraftKings. It's just the natural way that I want to occur fantasy points with the format. So I'd rather play Tobias Harris at 7.2. I'm taking on this Portland team that has been very weak defensively, so I'd like him. And then Joel Embiid taking on Enes Kanter defense is just going to be an absolute nightmare for Enes Kanter. If Joel Embiid's good to go on this one, it is a back-to-back for these Philadelphia 76ers after playing last night. So maybe we see Joel Embiid rest or something, which would obviously then make me like Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris a lot. I would really like Ben Simmons if Joel Embiid is out. If Embiid's in, I'm fading him. But, I mean, this matchup, Ben Simmons could have a big game as is. I'm just looking to prioritize other guys around the same price tag, but if Joel Embiid's out, it's like, then he's kind of forced in our hand to play a lot of Ben Simmons. So, like Robert Covington at 5.2 on the Portland side, no matter what, I should mention, getting mid-30s to 40 minutes makes a lot of sense. As a 3-and-D wing, can definitely stroke it from behind the arc. I like him. Houston take it on Memphis. Christian Wood comes in with an 8.8 price tag. This game comes in with a 1.5-point spread in favor of the Memphis Grizzlies. As far as pace in this one, I'd expect it not to be the fastest pace in the world. Memphis has been a pretty good defensive team. Now, John Wall was listed as out last time out because of recovery purposes, so he should be back, and after getting the rest last time out, should be fully ready and good to go. Still listed as questionable, but I expect him to be back. Jonas Valanciunas and Jaren Jackson continue to be out on the Memphis side, which means we're going to see more minutes and more usage for Brandon Clark, Xavier Tillman, Kyle Anderson, all these guys, Gorgie Jang. So Brandon Clark at 6K continues to be a great play. If he is priced up for a reason because of his fantasy point per minute production, the only problem is his minutes. So it's kind of risky. I mean, he's a good fantasy point per minute producer, but if he's only playing like 20 minutes, he could have a great 20 minutes and still not really put up a great score for you. Dylan Brooks finally got his big game last time out. I've been wanting to play this guy all season. Traditionally a very good three-point shooter. He's just been really struggling. He put up 38 DraftKings points last time out, and he's still only priced at 5.9, so you can continue to play him in tournaments. And then Kyle Anderson and Xavier Tillman. A lot of forward duties. I mean, these guys have just been getting blown out, so they're not really seeing extended run. I think that if this game can stay close, that these guys are going to actually be able to stay in the game. Guys like Kyle Anderson, Dylan Brooks, Brandon Clark, even though their minutes haven't been high, I think it's more so in line with the fact that these have been blowouts. I'd feel okay playing these guys in tournaments. Like, there's room for upside if this game stays close. And the fact that it's only a 1.5 point spread, I think this game's going to stay close. Which really makes me like Ja Morant at 7-6. This guy coming back off an injury. We saw him play 28, 22, and 29 minutes. As mentioned, they have been blowouts. I do think that we could see him get up to around 40 minutes in this one. And I do really, really like him at that 7-6 price tag. So Ja Morant makes a lot of sense in this one. And then on the Houston side, it's really John Wall, Victor Oladipo, Christian Wood. You could play an Eric Gordon down here at 5'8" if you wanted. He can get hot, and he has put up 30 and 35 DraftKings points. Keep in mind, John Wall was not in the game last time out. So now that John Wall will be back, I'd expect Victor Oladipo and John Wall to be getting a lot of the usage, followed up by Christian Wood. Christian Wood at 8'8". There's no Jonas Valanciunas. I think that he could absolutely eat in this matchup, even though it's not going to be the fastest-paced game. I'm not worried about the defense of Brandon Clark or Xavier Tillman. So Christian Wood, definitely a very intriguing option tonight. You're going to pay for him, but for good reason. Good matchup for him. It's just a pace thing. We'll have to keep an eye on the over-unders as these release. And, in comparison to the rest of the slate, pace is always important in NBA. You need you need pace and you need possession. So last game on the slate should be a good one. Denver at the Los Angeles Lakers. As far as fantasy is concerned, 219 over-under, not exactly the fastest-paced game. A 5-point spread in favor of the Los Angeles Lakers. And yeah, the total kind of speaks for itself, not the highest scoring game. However, with that being said, a lot of times these two teams are involved in some games where, they're expected to be blowouts, and this one's expected to stay close, which sometimes in itself can be enough to make you have interest in certain guys. If you've been watching my videos, Giannis on the Milwaukee Bucks constantly being involved in blowouts. Sometimes literally just knowing that their team isn't going to be involved in a blowout is enough to make you have interest in these guys, and that rule definitely applies in this one. So, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, bunch of usage on the Los Angeles Lakers side. I continue to prefer LeBron James this season. Anthony Davis seems to have just taken kind of a back seat, kind of in cruise control mode. Could he put up a big game in this one? Sure, but I just think LeBron James has the assist upside that Anthony Davis doesn't have, and LeBron James still provides you with points and rebounds. Unlike a traditional guard, LeBron, a guard forward, he's going to get you the rebounds, he's going to get you the assists, and he's going to get you the points. So it's a triple-double upside every single time he takes the floor. So I like LeBron James. Nikola Jokic at 11K makes a lot of sense. It's just not the greatest matchup, as mentioned, but they're going to need him in every way possible to get the win in this one. So his extreme usage, would I be surprised to see him put up 70 DraftKings points? No, because they literally need him to stay in the game. And same thing applies for LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So as far as my other interest with the guys on these teams, Gary Harris continues to be out, so that's going to be a slight bump to guys like Jamal Murray, Michael Porter, and Will Barton. All three are intriguing options. Gary Harris, not exactly the heaviest usage guy. It's just, once again, soaking up minutes. When you take away minutes, you have to give them elsewhere, and you have to give usage elsewhere naturally. So these three guys are the main beneficiaries, and they all three do make a lot of sense. Michael Porter Jr. has only been playing around 20 minutes, though. And, these have been close games, so I'm starting to think it's a rotational thing. They're ramping his minutes down. I don't know why that is, but, a guy that I typically have been promoting a lot, I'm not sure that I'm trying to go there. I mean, last time out, taking on Detroit, the game ended up getting canceled, so it would have been interesting to see if his minutes ramped up, but kind of a risky proposition there, where you can go to Will Barton and Jamal Murray and know their minutes have been on the increase, 30 and 37 minutes the last two times out for Will Barton. So I like him at 5-2. That's pretty much the extent of my interest in this one. I mean, Paul Millsap at 4-1 on the Denver side. The Los Angeles Lakers do have some bigs off the bench that he might need to build. Guys in the rotation like Marc Gasol, Montrezl Harrell. So they could definitely need him to be on the floor. So I do like Paul Millsap in this one. Based on the matchup, I think he could get a few more minutes, a few little more opportunity, so he makes sense as well. And yeah, that's all I'd have interest in this one, really. That's my overall breakdown of this 5-game slate. Before I let you guys go, I got to give you my lock of the night. Let's get into it. And And my lock of the night tonight is going to be Ja Morant. This guy's been back now for about 3 games. There's been plenty of time to get his conditioning back in line. Has had a little bit of issues shooting the last 3 times out, but has also been involved into blowouts. As mentioned, the Memphis Grizzlies game blown out. This game's expected to stay close. Houston coming in on a back-to-back, and I absolutely love Ja Morant at this price tag. At this 7.6 price tag, expected to see his minutes ramped up. I think the usage is there. I think the scoring's there. It's just a matter of time before he has a big game, and I think taking on Houston tonight, this could be the one. So I absolutely love Ja Morant at this 7.6 price tag, and he is my lock of the night. So there you have it, guys. Ja Morant, 7.6. Get him in your lineups because he's my lock of the night. And that is all from me in this one. If you did enjoy the content, if you could please leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell, that would be greatly appreciated. And don't forget to check out my Patreon package, link below in the description if you're interested in some further content from me. Getting a lot of good feedback, a lot of subscribers winning some money over there. So I'm glad that I am providing you with value, and I will continue to do so. So thank you to all my patrons. Thank you to all the viewers of this video. Wish you guys all the best of luck tonight, and we will see you in the next one.